these tourists start freaking out. Like, they're taking photos. One guy has binoculars, and they couldn't stop saying, like, how good the hospitality was and that we would do this for them. And I was like, do what?
No,
the birds?
don't say it.
And they were like, well...
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we are back with another reaction to the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you. We're super excited about this video, guys. We're having so much fun.
No doubt.
So we hope you all are having fun as well. Continue to have these bright, insightful conversations with us in the comment section below. If this is your first time on the channel, we would love to offer you the chance to join the family by pressing the red subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell, because we're on the road to 50K and we cannot get there without you guys. All right, join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
I'm curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I was chatting to an American over an internet video call, and she asked me, "Do you guys have internet down there?"
Girl.
So I thought I'd be funny, and I said, "Yeah, we have internet, but we don't have automatic internet. We have manual internet, so where you've got to turn a crank, and you charge up some internet, and you sort of go for about 5 minutes, get about half an hour of internet," and she like fully believed it.
Yeah, now that was a good one.
American has ever said to you?
That was
Okay,
a good
so we used to have like dial-up internet.
Yeah,
AOL. What they used to say? It used to make
buffer.
a little sound. Yeah. So if he wouldn't have went like the crank up, she probably would have believed him.
No, she did believe him. Nah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The way he broke it down, that was perfect. That was a dumb moment.
Yeah, that was.
You know what I'm saying?
And
because
for her to believe that.
Yeah, because you can't just take everything in and be like acceptive about it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta question some stuff at least a little bit. I'm just saying.
I will literally never forget the time somebody told me to go back to my own country.
This is her country.
What's the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So my ethnicity is native Russian. It's called Yakut. We live in the far east of Russia. And our physical traits, as you can see, are Asian. I study in the States, and this guy asks me, "Oh, where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Russia." And he's like, "No, I mean like, where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Russia, motherfucker." And he's like, "Okay, then where are your parents from?" And I say, "Imagine, they're from Russia too." And he's like, "Well, I thought that you were Asian." Fuck a motherfucker, твою мака. I am Asian. I don't know how your brain works, but you think if I'm from Russia, I cannot be Asian when I clearly am Asian, and vice versa? If you studied your geography, you will know that half of Russia, the biggest country in the world, it's really hard to miss it on the map, is in Asia. You really think that Habib Nurmagomedov's ethnicity is Russian? No, he's Dagestani, just one of the 100 native Russian ethnicities. So yeah, I'm an Asian with Russian passport, bitch. And I got no ancestors immigrated. Don't mix your history with my history.
Did she say don't mix your history with my history?
Yeah, body.
Okay, sis.
Hold on.
All right.
Wait a minute.
I see me and her being real cool. Snap back.
Hey, that's kind of like when you go to the new schools and you're not transfer student, and it'd be like, how can you come to the school when you live out there? And I'm like, I moved out here. That's like, well, how long you been out? I just moved. Like, it's weird, but it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, I do understand what you said.
What said to you?
Hi, Canadian here. Before I get started, just for reference, the US is here and we are right there. Okay? I'm going to try to go in order from least ridiculous to most ridiculous, so stay tuned until the end. Firstly, I've been asked numerous times if you need a passport to enter Canada.
Well,
like
sis,
we're
what
not
you
a whole
think?
ass other country. I've been asked if we ride polar bears, typical. If we have roads, if we have cars.
Why do they do that?
School?
That's a real question. That's a real question. Why do they do that? Because that's not my first time I heard that. That's like, do they have cars in Canada? Like, why?
I don't know, but what I have seen from Canada, of course, I haven't been to Canada, which is ridiculous because it's like right there. But the like pictures and videos I've seen of Canada, I've even watched movies where they go to Canada. It looks clean. It looks really clean.
Like the air is perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
of course, it may be colder there, but I don't know.
It's just, why do they ask those questions? That I never have the reason to want to know that. Like, I believe it's the same.
Right.
What's different?
Even in China, of course they're gonna have
Of course.
roles.
Like, what? That don't make sense to me.
By the way, like, they were being serious. But the worst one was when I went to Ohio to coach a basketball camp, and I was talking to one of the coaches. He was the coach of a JUCO, okay? Black man in his 40s. And he said to me, wow, I didn't know they had black people in Canada. I obviously thought he was kidding, but then he said, wow, does that mean you're like one of the only black people over there? Like, did you move there from the States? You're American, right? You have to be.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing in America?
Now that's really stupid because
Yeah.
there are a lot of black Canadian YouTubers. So like they have a lot of black Canadian. I don't know. Again, we don't claim those people.
Okay.
So I'm born and raised in the States, but my family's Brazilian, and I would often go back to Brazil to go and visit my other relatives. When I would come back from Brazil and go to school, people would ask me how I was posting stuff. And I would say, what do you mean? And they were like, don't they not have internet there?
Oh my God.
And I would just be completely dumbfounded.
They make it sound like they live on
What
an
do you mean?
island where there's just water and you can't
And
get
they
no
would ask me,
connection
how
to
do you get
anything.
it? So I would literally tell them, oh, we have a monkey and we bribe him with a coconut and we have him run on a spinning wheel and that's how our internet works. And they believed me.
So I'm an Australian and I'm in New York for the first time, never been to America, and I'm having dinner with like 10 Americans that I met there, right? Getting along with them great. And one of the guys says something really funny, so I laughed and then I go, man, you're a fucking sick cunt. And the whole table just stopped, went completely silent, and just stared at me. And then the guy that I called a sick cunt goes, dude, never say that word.
A
like,
sick cunt?
Yeah,
not even in private. What a fucking dumb cunt.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So, in 2013, I went to America for the first time ever. It was to New York, and I absolutely loved it. I went on a family holiday. And while I was there, at one point, I started talking to this American girl. And the second I started speaking, she was like, oh my God, like, you have an accent. And I said, yes,
I always say
have an
that.
accent.
You're going to hear that all the time.
And she goes, yeah, but like, your accent's different. And I said, yeah, of course it's different. I'm from the UK. I have a British accent. It's different to yours. And she goes, wait, I have an accent? To which I said, yes. You have an American accent. I'm British, I've got a British accent. You're American, you've got an American accent. A French person would have a French accent. And a German person would have a German accent. And this girl looked so confused and so bewildered. She just was not understanding that concept. And it just made me think, how closed off are you guys to the real world? Like, there's more than just America. Come on.
Yeah, that is so true. That is more. But if you go deep into it, like if you go city by city, we each all have our own lingo. Yeah. They all have their own different lingo.
That's why, in her mind, she made. I can't speak for her, but like you said, all of the different states and all of the different cities have different accents. So Louisiana, for example, we have the northern cities, we have the southern cities, and we have east and the west. So. Us, we talk with more of a, laid back slang and, how can I say it? More of Creole, French, Cajun, that type of accent. And up north, they may have like a Texas accent because they're so close to Texas and Mississippi and Arkansas. So maybe that's what kind of mind frame she was in.
I heard that before though.
What?
Like, oh, you got an accent. Oh, I have an accent? You can hear it? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because we're so used to being around people who live by us. And that's the only accent we hear until we hear somebody who came from somewhere else.
That's also how we, like, kind of identify certain people, too.
Exactly.
Because we can tell, like, which location, like, from city to city to city to city, we can tell where you from. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Here's one of mine. I remember getting into an argument with an American over Discord about how many states they have. He was convinced that America had 40. Keep in mind, he's American. They have 50. I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I used to work at this winery on the east coast of Canada. It's like kind of close to a port city. So sometimes cruise ships would come in and people could come down to the winery for the day. So one time this group of Americans came down off a cruise ship and I gave them the tour, and the tour finishes outside in the vines, in the vineyards. And they look up and there's birds flying around, and the birds are bald eagles, which in this part of the world, bald eagles are very common, see them every day, no biggie. But these tourists start freaking out, like they're taking photos, one guy has binoculars, and they couldn't stop saying like how good the hospitality was and that we would do this for them. And I was like, do what?
No,
the birds?
don't say it.
And they were like, well, these birds, like
No.
bald eagles,
No.
are American. So like you must have brought them here for us. So these people thought that A, bald eagles don't exist outside of the US, and B, this winery that sees thousands of people a day imported these birds for their pleasure.
Curious, what
That's
is the
cool.
dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
It's almost like a little privilege there. Like, for me, birds.
Right.
Brought
So,
me
like, where were
birds.
your parents born? America. But why do you have an accent? I don't. I have a speech impediment. No, you don't. It's an accent. Well, damn, let me just go tell my speech therapist that. Just save some money.
I'm kind of curious, what is the dumbest thing an
So
American
save some
has ever
money.
said to
Yeah.
you?
Right, so I'm an actress, and this year I was shooting a movie in England, and one of the crew guys walks up to me and he's like, "Where you from? Your English is really good." And I was like, "Well, I'm from Bulgaria." And he just stares at me for a second and goes, "Bulgaria? How are you an actress? Don't you still live in caves?"
He was playing.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had to
Curious, what is
be.
the
Yeah.
dumbest thing an
Give him a hard
American
time,
has ever
sound
said
like.
to you?
So, being from South Africa and having worked in America for a couple of years, I've been asked, how did I get here, in America? Told them we had teams of 4 in one rowboat and then each guy gets an hour to row. I've been asked, how did you learn to speak English so quickly? So I said, no, that's easy. That's just like a 2-day course, easy. I've been asked, have you really got pet lions? So I said, no, I don't. I've got a cheetah, but my neighbor's got the lion. I've had, how can you be from Africa? Because you're white. So I said, well, have you
That's the
never
one.
heard of an albino? I don't know where they get this shit from.
They
But
taught
it's
wrong,
quite
bro.
fun once you start going with it. And they believe every fucking word.
No, 100%. I believe him.
Yeah, so the thing about that is one of my earliest memories of learning about Africa was propaganda. The propaganda commercials, when they have the starving children in Africa.
Sad.
So as I was growing up, elementary years, that's all I remember in my head is that starving children in Africa. And of course, when you're black, it's inevitable that you're going to hear at some point in your life living in America to go back to Africa. Right. So I remember a little girl telling me go back to Africa, and I'm thinking in my head like, no, I'm gonna be starving. And it wasn't until I actually, I love history, so I became a history buff. It wasn't until I started learning about Africa, like, hey, like, no, there's civilization, like there's millionaires in Africa. It wasn't until then that I knew it wasn't what America has taught me on these propaganda commercials.
Right. Yeah. It's sad, bro.
But he have a good tan.
That's crazy.
What's a piece of
That's
information?
the wrap right there, you guys. Man.
These videos are very eye-opening, and again, I just wish the title wasn't dumb. I wish the title said ignorant.
Yeah, and as well though, like I feel they just capped out a lot of people, meaning that they don't know. They only taught them what, and I don't understand what the teaching is used for. Like a lot of people, I go to school and I do all these math courses, but I don't use math. Like I may count money, but that's it.
Right.
And what I need to learn that may require math is not that type of math I need to know for this type of, you know what I'm saying, work that I may be doing.
Right. You know how messed up our education system is? So, school, like high school and all of that, it's supposed to get you ready for the real world.
The real
right?
world, exactly.
So if we're supposed to be getting ready for the real world in the United States, why aren't we taught credit?
They don't teach that in school.
They don't teach that. Why aren't we taught money management?
Not that
I
either.
didn't have a money management course until college.
They don't talk about insurance.
They don't talk about insurance.
They don't talk about none of that.
They don't talk about none of these things. School should teach us how to prepare for the real world.
Housing.
None of that.
None of that. Like if you go to
Of course,
school,
we had a field trip.
we have a field trip, and they may teach you the okay, go be a engineer,
Right.
Go be a policeman, go be a firefighter, go be a nurse. The things that it shows them from the little age babies, like when cartoons in the nursery rhymes, they show you these things, and then you think about it now, you're taught that in school.
Right. From
the nursery rhymes, they teach the same thing in school. I just did something there, yo. That's crazy.
And it's just crazy because it's like, if we are barely taught things that we need to know for the real world in America, how on earth could we have a educated conversation with someone from Bulgaria or the UK or Africa?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to always appear as dumb, or those dumb Americans or crazy Americans, to people from other countries because we're barely taught our life.
And I don't think we should be faulted for that.
No, we shouldn't be faulted. I just wish that people from other countries had more of an open mind, just like we're having an open mind looking at these videos and learning things. Like, again, as I've said before, we don't know all. We are educated people, but we don't know all. And we learn things from these videos as well.
So much to learn from.
Right. So let's have more educated conversations in the comment section below.
Drop that.
Again, we love America. We're from America, but we do appreciate learning things about your countries as well.
Yeah.
So let's continue those conversations in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.